After Sun Jian's death, Kuai Liang advised Liu Biao to take the opportunity to attack Jiangdong. He said that Sun Jian's sons were still young, and the Sun family's power was now weak. This was a golden chance. If they waited until the family recovered, they might become a threat to Jingzhou. However, Liu Biao replied, Huangzu is still held captive in the enemy's camp. How can I abandon him? Kuai Liang urged, giving up a tactless man like Huangzu in exchange for control over Jiangdong. What could be better? But Liu Biao insisted, Huangzu and I are bonded by life and death. To abandon him would be both disloyal and unjust. Thus, Liu Biao decided to exchange Sun Jian's body for Huangzu. Both sides withdrew their forces. Sun Tzu retrieved his father's coffin and returned to Jiangdong with his troops. He buried his father in Chui. After completing the funeral rites, Sun Tzu stationed his troops in Jiangdu, widely recruited talented individuals, and humbly made allies with heroes from all sides. Gradually, many capable people came to serve him. Meanwhile, in Chang'an, Dong Zhuo was thrilled upon hearing of Sun Jian's death. He considered a major threat eliminated. When he asked about Sun Jian's son's age and learned the boy was only 17, he dismissed the matter entirely and became even more arrogant. He began calling himself Grand Protector and traveled with fanfare exceeding that of the emperor. He promoted his younger brother Dong Min and his nephew Dong Huang to high-ranking positions and infected every member of the Dong clan, regardless of age. 250 li from Chang'an, he constructed a fortress called Mei Fortress, mobilizing 250,000 laborers to build it. Its walls mimicked those of Chang'an, and within were palaces, granaries storing 20 years' worth of grain, 800 beautiful women, and mountains of gold and jewels. His entire family resided there. Dong Zhuo was shuttled between Chang'an and Mei Fortress, sometimes returning every half-month, sometimes once a month. Each time he came or went, all officials were required to line up outside the city gates to receive or send him off. He often hosted feasts along the roads, drinking and reveling with the officials. One day, at Heng Gate, he hosted a banquet. At that moment, hundreds of surrendered soldiers from the northern regions were brought forth. In full view of all, Dong Zhuo ordered their hands and feet severed, eyes gouged out, tongues cut, and even boiled some alive in a giant cauldron. Their screams shook the heavens. The officials were so terrified they couldn't hold their chopsticks, but Dong Zhuo remained at ease, laughing and chatting. Another day, at a court gathering where officials sat in 2 rows drinking, Lu Bu entered and whispered into Dong Zhuo's ear. Dong Zhuo smiled and nodded, then ordered Lu Bu to drag Minister Zhang Wen out. Shortly after, an attendant brought in a red tray with Zhang Wen's severed head on it. The officials were petrified. Dong Zhuo explained Zhang Wen had conspired with Yuan Shu to harm him and that Lu Bu had intercepted the evidence. He told everyone not to worry. The officials had no choice but to murmur their compliance and disperse. Minister Wang Yun was restless and wandered his back garden at night with a cane, tears streaming down his face. Suddenly, he heard a long sigh near the peony pavilion. Peeking over, he saw Jiao Chan, a courtesan of his household. Jiao Chan had been adopted by Wang Yun since childhood and was trained in singing and dancing. She was exceptionally beautiful and talented and treated like his own daughter. Wang Yun asked why she was sighing so late at night. Jiao Chan expressed gratitude for his care and said she would do anything to repay him. Wang Yun lamented the dire state of the nation and the suffering of the people, saying only Jiao Chan could help save the country. He explained that Dong Zhuo intended to seize the throne, and no one among the civil and military officials could stop him. Dong Zhuo had an adopted son, Lu Bu, and both were lustful men. Wang Yun proposed a chain plan. first betrothed Jiao Chan to Lu Bu, then offer her to Dong Zhuo, using her to drive a wedge between them, inciting Lu Bu to kill Dong Zhuo and thereby restore the Han dynasty. He asked if she was willing. Jiao Chan agreed to sacrifice herself for the country. Wang Yun was moved to tears. The next day, Wang Yun had a golden crown inlaid with pearls made and secretly sent it to Lu Bu. Delighted, Lu Bu personally visited to express his thanks. Wang Yun hosted a lavish banquet, showered Lu Bu with praise, and said he admired Lu Bu's abilities, not just his title. Lu Bu was greatly pleased. Midway through the feast, Wang Yun brought out his daughter, Diao Chan. She exchanged flirtatious glances with Lu Bu, pretending to be drunk. Wang Yun had Diao Chan accompany Lu Bu in drinking, then mentioned his desire to marry her to Lu Bu. Lu Bu joyfully agreed. Wang Yun promised to pick an auspicious date soon. After Lu Bu left, Diao Chan sent secret signals of affection. Their feelings grew deep. A few days later, taking advantage of Lu Bu's absence, Wang Yun invited Dong Zhuo to a banquet. Dong Zhuo arrived with over 100 guards. Wang Yun flattered him and said that according to celestial signs, the Han dynasty's days were numbered and that Dong Zhuo's virtue rivaled legendary sages. Dong Zhuo was overjoyed. After the banquet, Wang Yun invited him to the inner hall, saying a house performer would dance. Jiao Chan came out and danced gracefully. Dong Zhuo was captivated. She then sang, and Dong Zhuo was further impressed. Wang Yun offered her to Dong Zhuo as a gift. Dong Zhuo happily accepted and brought her to his residence that very night. On his way home, Wang Yun ran into Lu Bu, who angrily questioned why Jiao Chan had been given to Dong Zhuo. Wang Yun hastily explained that Dong Zhuo had come personally to demand her, and he dared not refuse. Lu Bu calmed down for the moment and said he would retrieve her later. After waiting several days with no word, Lu Bu inquired and was told that Dong Zhuo had spent the night with Jiao Chan and had not yet risen. Furious, Lu Bu sneaked into Dong Zhuo's bedroom and spied on them. He saw Jiao Chan with a sorrowful expression, wiping away tears. Understanding her feelings, Lu Bu was heartbroken but helpless. When Dong Zhuo awoke and noticed Lu Bu staring toward the back of the bed, he discovered Jiao Chan and grew suspicious. He drove Lu Bu out and forbade him from entering again. Lu Bu was upset and confided in Li Ru. Li Ru advised Dong Zhuo not to alienate Lu Bu over such a small matter, or else greater plans would fail. Dong Zhuo relented and rewarded Lu Bu with gold and silk the next day to placate him. Yet, Lu Bu couldn't stop thinking about Diao Chan. Later, when Dong Zhuo recovered from an illness and entered the palace to attend court, Lu Bu sneaked to Wang Yun's residence to see Diao Chan. She arranged to meet him at the Phoenix Pavilion in the garden. There, she tearfully told him that she had been defiled by Dong Zhuo and would rather die than live in shame. She wanted to drown herself in the pond. Lu Bu quickly embraced her. They poured their hearts out to each other, reluctant to part. Jiao Chan begged Lu Bu to save her. When Dong Zhuo discovered Lu Bu's absence, he hurried home. The gatekeeper told him Lu Bu was in the rear hall. Entering the garden, Dong Zhuo saw Lu Bu and Jiao Chan conversing beneath the pavilion, with Lu Bu's halberd resting beside him. Furious, Dong Zhuo lunged forward. Lu Bu, startled, fled. Dong Zhuo grabbed the halberd and chased him. But Lu Bu was swift, and Dong Zhuo was fat and slow. He hurled the halberd, but missed. As Lu Bu escaped through the garden gate, someone ran into Dong Zhuo head-on, knocking him to the ground. Summary. This chapter tells of the tension between Jingzhou and Jiang Dong following Sun Jian's death. Sun Tzu returned home to recruit talent and gradually expanded his power. Meanwhile, Dong Zhuo became increasingly tyrannical in Chang'an, indulging in cruelty and luxury. drawing fear and resentment from the officials. Minister Wang Yun, determined to stop him, devised a chain scheme by involving Jiao Chan, who seduced both Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu. Her role drove a wedge between the two, intensifying their conflict. The chapter climaxes with the famous Phoenix Pavilion scene, where Dong Zhuo catches Lu Bu with Jiao Chan and tries to strike him. This lays the groundwork for Dong Zhuo's eventual demise. Knowledge points. 1. Jiao Chan's identity. In the official historical text records of the Three Kingdoms, Jiao Chan does not exist. She is a fictional character created later. 2. Chain scheme. Wang Yun's plan to use a beauty to divide Dong Zhuo and Lu Bu is a product of the novel romance of the Three Kingdoms. The historical record only states that Wang Yun and Lu Bu plotted to kill Dong Zhuo, with no elaborate scheme detailed. 3. Dong Zhuo's death. In history, Lu Bu and Wang Yun conspired and killed Dong Zhuo while he was entering the palace. The idea of them falling out over a woman is fictional embellishment. Historically, Lu Bu referred to Dong Zhuo as his foster father, but there is no record of romantic rivalry between them.